Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or coming back. Welcome. I appreciate you all guys, and I'm sure that you will learn something new and something useful for yourself. Even if the reading itself doesn't touch you, the concepts that I'm going to be talking about, the examples that I use, my own experience, things that I've learned from other light workers, other twin flames, it's all useful to keep in mind. And I used to do it myself, and I would listen to the reading even if the situation itself didn't resonate, like it's not happening right now. Maybe it was, maybe it will be, but right now I'm just not vibing with it. But the concepts that were explained were so useful that I almost took notes for myself, mentally took notes for myself of what certain scenarios mean or how to navigate in certain situations. And it helped me at the time when that was relevant, even if it wasn't that particular moment. So I'm quite confident that all of this information, everything that I'm sharing, is actually useful for your journey at some point. And of course, if you're interested in fine-tuning your specific path or helping you with specific blockers or challenges, opportunities on your way, my recommendation is just get a coaching session. And coaching doesn't have to be last for a year or something, right? We can start with one session, and at least, so first of all, the intro session is 20-minute session is free anyway, to get to know you, to understand what you're looking for. I will explain what I can do for you, and talk about the services I provide that could be beneficial, and then we'll decide how we move on. But what I'm talking about is, for example, after this intro session, we actually go into the true full coaching session. Sometimes one session is enough if it's something minor, right? Or maybe through coaching we find out some root cause of that blocker, and then you can work with it by yourself, using your own techniques, your own tools. Because maybe, and a lot of times, the key is just to pinpoint where that was coming from. What does it mean? And then you already know everything else. So, if the coaching doesn't have to be to last for a very long time, right? If 1 or 2 sessions are enough, then why do we need to do more, right? But if you feel through those sessions, if you feel that you can use more, that you get new questions, then of course we can carry on. So just think about it, and you can always contact me via email address that's in the description box for more information, for pricing, and even to set up the intro call. Okay, I'm gonna start. I brought my Muse deck today. I rarely use it for collective readings, but I felt guided to do it. And as you know, I'm departing for Sedona, so I'm just kind of doing this set of readings for different days, and in a little bit different format. Each of them is going to be a little different, just because it's going to be a retreat and I won't really be able to do much of tarot while I'm there. So I'm just trying to prepare and to give you guys the content that you're looking for while I'm away, working on my own spiritual journey in a beautiful place. Maybe I'll do a video or a slideshow to show you how wonderful it is. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the wisdom of the oracle. Let's see what's going on with DF and DM collective, and we'll take it from there. I think we haven't done messages between the twins for a few days, so if we have time, I'll go into that. I think I'm getting better with time management and trying to keep this readings short, or relatively short, at least during the week. Of course, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, to leave a comment. Please, I'd like to know more about you and what you like about the channel, what you'd like to see more of. Just share. Do you like my new backdrop? Still considering it new because I only had it for a couple of weeks. The same with the lights, actually. I like the lights. I was looking for some lights that would be more or less universal, but also pretty, you know, cute or cool, that doesn't have to just be a specific theme or only go during Christmas time or whatever, right? And the stars were just like, and it has different settings, different kinds of different ways, and you know that it can light up. I just haven't really got the handle on all of those yet, so I'm still experimenting. Okay, Divine Feminine has got the card Imagine. Trying to look for the actual number. Wow, it's so interesting. Number 20, yes. Look at this blue sky. It's so amazing, and it does have both the kind of the sun and the moon, but mostly the moonlight. But the sky looks like it's daytime. It's very interesting. It's like surreal timing, right? It's almost like the divine timing interpretation, right? That you know, we can manifest and exist beyond the time, beyond the specific timeline that we could be part of the specific moment. So yeah, this speaks to me about multidimensional existence, and also for you know, the fact that Divine Feminines can actually manifest pretty much anything into their life, and there is a big kind of nudge to look into that. You know, not necessarily just drop everything and spend all day manifesting and, you know, daydreaming, but more about there's something specific that you are really striving for, that you haven't allowed yourself to dream about and to manifest, to set that intention, right? And that's like a nudge for you guys to think about what it is and actually be honest with yourself. That's what I want, right? I don't know if it's, I'm just making it up. If it's becoming a singer, a famous singer in Europe, for example, right? Don't tell yourself that you cannot do it. Don't say that, oh no, it's not live work. No, it's just not right. You may not necessarily know how your profession of a singer in Europe will help you do your light work, you know? And I mean, that was actually just an odd example, but it is actually also very good because famous people are influencers, whether they want it or not, right? So you could easily become that force of inspiration and light just by being in a certain vibration, being famous, you know. Also sharing your music with people. Why not? Music is my element as well. Usually all twin flames have their kind of, they lean towards certain art to express themselves, their creativity. Some go more seriously into that, some just do it for fun, you know, when they have a chance. For me, music is my element for sure. Singing, dancing, I do a little bit of instrument playing, but not as much. But it's just generally music is like, you know, I get euphoric during, you know, certain activities, certain practices, including singing, by the way. So why not? I would imagine myself being a singer, you know, in one of the realms, for example, right? One of the realities. Being a singer and sharing my energy, my story, my inspiration through my song, right? Through connecting with my audience. Why not? So think about it again. There is something that you are not allowing yourself to implement in life, and it's time to go there. Okay, for the masculine. Oh, look at me doing a short reading. Now it's 9 minutes in. It's okay. I'm still intending to pull the messages between the twins. Okay. So Divine Masculines have got two cards. Time to Go and Serendipity. Oh, I love the Serendipity card. And I actually pulled it for one of my DMs. For my DM once. Yeah, we were pulling oracle cards for each other, and I got this card for him And it was so adorable because it was the beginning of our journey. And as I kept looking at the card and kind of interpreting what I see as I was looking at it, I was talking about this fairy and this girl that, you know, will be a lucky charm and stuff. And I realized, like, maybe a month later that I was basically talking about myself. He got a little upset that it was a girl, first of all, because he thought that maybe it's him, you know, flying away with all this luck with the clover. But yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I could have been his angel in that card. So yeah, it's basically the serendipity card, of course, means that there's a certain divine intervention into the masculine's journey, trying to help them to kind of blow the wind into their sails and accelerate their progress. Time to go, of course, is also, to me, it's another side of the intervention where certain things need to go away because they are being the burden, like the unnecessary anchor for that sail, if we're talking about boat and that metaphor. And it's really slowing the masculine down. So it's another way to speed them up, is actually to help them remove unnecessary burdens and things that keep them low vibe. I'm getting that. It's mostly about the energy vibration, really. Okay, let's get to tarot, since I brought my music deck. What's the energy of Divine Feminine at this time? Divine Feminine Collective, for listening to this reading. The moon. The pink moon. We just had the pink moon, by the way. That new moon a few days ago, that was called the pink moon. What about masculines? So it definitely had a big effect on Divine Feminine Collective. It did have all of us, really, and not just twin flames. But yeah, it makes sense because the energy of the moon speaks more to feminine energy anyway, because moon is connected to feminine, the same as sun is connected to masculine energy. So, you know, we're more kind of intuitively, we're more in tune with the energy of the moon, let's put it that way. Masculines, 8 of Voices, ouch. What's happening in the connection at this time? Sorry, it flew away. Of course, I knocked off my stand. 9 of Voices. So it's 9 of Swords in this deck. Okay, we'll clarify. I'm just gonna go here. Let's clarify the moon. Okay. Interesting. 3 cards with women figures. There are not many women in this deck, but yeah, we got them. Let's clarify 8 of Voices. 2 of them are queens. It's interesting. But totally matches the moon energy, like I was saying. 8 of Voices. Okay, 10 of Swords. So 8 of Swords clarified by 10 of Swords. But I'm getting that's that transformational energy that I talked about with time to go and serendipity. That certain things need to fall away. And because divine masculines have been resistant to changing those aspects, yeah, divine intervention is just removing them. And it's painful. It's like removing a band-aid, but something that has been really, really stuck to the skin. It almost became part of your skin, and then somebody just rips it off. There's also a lot of hair on it. Yeah, let's make it worse. So yeah, now it's painful. Wow. Okay, so for the masculines, or for the feminines, I'm sorry, we have the moon clarified by 7 of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Cups. So definitely this is the divine feminine energy at its best. You know, the Cups and the Wands, to me, it's embracing the notion, the concept of divine love and of twin flame love. Like, what does it mean between the twin flames, right? Bigger scale of it, like going outside of certain stigmas of like a sexual relationship, or whether a man and a woman could be friends or not, you know, all of the stereotypes that we have. It's breaking those, and also staying in your kind of, I wanted to say in your own lane, but what I meant here is in this deck, 7 of Wands is quite different from what it usually represents. But in this deck, to me, it's this kind of love bubble, it's meditative pose. But notice she's by herself, but she's having a great time. It's realization. This moon, the new moon that we just had, is bringing realization to divine feminines that they are, you know, self-fulfilled individuals, let's put it that way, right? They are wholesome and they don't really need anybody else, especially a man, to complete them and to make them happy. Yes, we do talk about twin flames having shared higher power, shared soul, etc., etc., but it's still very important to remember that each of us is an individual, right? Because that's how we're working with the patterns and templates of codependency and you know, all of those unhealthy aspects that we have in our society, that if I'm your wife, you owe me XYZ, or if we are married, we have to have a baby within the next year or two, or something like that. You know, like all of those things, they will keep lingering in the society if we keep sticking to the idea that this is a must-have. That, you know, if I'm a woman of a certain age, I have to have a man by my side. I have to have children. Like, why? Like, these days, it's supposedly easier to live for people, like to be, even to exist in the society, if you decided not to, consciously decided not to have children. But most women who have decided that still do not talk about it. It's almost like they're like making excuses or covering it up with usually some cover story. And people are still deciding not to talk about it because they know that there's going to be a lot of noise, a lot of unnecessary drama around it, and it's just not fair to them. Come on. So yeah, well done for divine feminine, embracing, and with this card, right, embracing that the impossible is possible. You're capable of building your own universe without relying on men. And by the way, in these energies, you know, we have wands as well. Wands are the action, they are the kind of, that's the fire, that's the quintessential masculine. But we are seeing here how fire can can be combined with the order energy and coexist harmoniously and, you know, within the feminine. It doesn't have to be that I can only do this because I only have these traits of character, only have this disposition, and in order to do the rest of it, I need a man. I need my masculine, right? That's not stick to the gender. That's not really true. And that's what divine feminines are proving with their story, with how they built their life. Masculines, I was saying, 8 of Swords, clarified by 10 of Swords. So there's definitely some painful moment of looking in the mirror and recognizing that, you know, they have been blindsided basically, and it's almost like that realization where, you know, you're driving somewhere and you realize that you took the wrong turn somewhere a long time ago, and you've been driving like off your route for like 3 hours, right? And you're like really, really off. It's kind of like that, you know, maybe in years, maybe in some other measurement units that the masculine has, but they're like, well, you know, all this time, what I was striving for, what I was looking for in relationships, like the kind of people I kept close to myself, it wasn't really, you know, true. It wasn't authentic. And I didn't even want it. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. For the connection, we have 9 of Swords, clarified by 4 of Pentacles. It's also a bit of a struggling energy, I would say. It's almost like, you know, it's when you have certain pain inside, certain anxiety, but you're so used to it, it's part of your personality, and you're like, no, I'll keep it for myself. Yeah, I got used to it. You know, it feels good, we've been together for such a long time, I'm just gonna keep it. And that's fine. That's also part of, part of that inner work of how we let go of fear, how we work with addictions. Those things are not easy. Otherwise, there wouldn't be such a problem globally, right? So this is revisiting those patterns of what do you keep for yourself? What do you let go? What brings you happiness? What brings you anxiety and maybe frustration, maybe fear, right? It's looking at it from different angles. Like, how do you analyze? In some situations, not as straightforward. What do you do then? How do you judge it from that perspective, right? Without judging it. You know what I mean? Okay, I think that's enough for the questions. And by the way, at the bottom of the decks, we had the World and for once. Right? So yeah, big time divine intervention. You can see that both twins are like heavily invested into doing the work and ascending to new levels, maybe skipping some timelines. Let's see what divine masculines have to say to divine feminine at this time. Okay. You have let me hold you. I just want space. Interesting, right? Yeah, nah. Again, you see, this is what I'm talking about. The masculines are really looking into the paradoxes and the conflicting thoughts and desires that they've had, and they were pushing some of them away. They were making the other ones feel like they are real, but now they're realizing what is really happening, right? I do want to hold you. And yeah, it was a bunch of BS when I said that I need space. Okay, what about divine feminine? What do they have to say to divine masculine? Okay. We have, I need time for me. I want you to choose. And let me have you. I know it's not the same card because the other one was let me hold you. So different cards, but rings a bell, right? That's another confirmation that there is some mirroring happening and both twins are working hard in their own way on, resolving their karmic patterns and moving on and up. Yeah, time for me. So definitely divine feminine is busy. So they're basically saying, if I'm not texting you or we don't see each other as much as we used to, or I just literally ask you not to bother me for a while, it's because I'm taking care of certain business, of myself, of my finances, of a lot of things that I need to figure out for myself before I will have capacity to be with you, right? In the meantime, I want you to make some choices in your life that will allow for this union to come through. Because right now there are also things on your side that are preventing us from coming together that you need to sort out for yourself to be ready for this union. So it becomes a blessing, not a struggle. Okay, I hope this has been good for guys. Sorry that it turned out to be a long reading, but I hope it's been useful, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.